Hello and welcome to another live episode of the Alex Nitzberg Show. I'm Alex Nitzberg and today I'm going to be covering some climate alarmism coming out of the UN. Also, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Elon Musk switching Twitter to become X and also a few other things. So thank you for joining me for this episode. If you've been enjoying the live shows every Saturday at 3:30, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you've been watching these videos regularly, check and see if you're subscribed. It's possible you could be getting served up the videos, but you're not actually subscribed. So take a look and see if you're subscribed, and if not, please hit the subscribe button. But let me switch over here and go ahead and get started. There's a reminder. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and thank you to those of you who do. All right, so first of all, this is the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Gutierrez, and he... I mean, you know, a lot of the people that promote the climate alarmism stuff, they're just like this over-the-top stuff. So here is a clip of him saying that the era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived. Let me just go ahead and show you that here.
Climate change is here. It is terrifying, and it is just the beginning. The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived. The air is unbreathable. The heat is unbearable, and the level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable.
So yeah, there he's he's standing there saying that the climate change is terrifying. So, but that's not all I have for you here. I also have, well, actually, before I get to that, let me just show you this. The UN Human Rights Council, if you look at their membership list, they have China listed here as one of the countries on this list. Now, that's ridiculous, obviously. China is known for persecuting Christians, persecuting the Uyghur Muslims. There's probably others. I've heard, there's something... But anyway, so it's like, this is ridiculous that China's on here. I personally think, and let me know in the comments, I think almost everyone watching this would agree with me, that the United Nations, the U.S. should completely withdraw from the United Nations, completely withdraw all of our funding from the United Nations, and just sever all ties, just cut all ties to the UN. It's a globalist body. It's promoting a bunch of garbage. If American taxpayers individually really support the UN and like what they're doing, and they think they're doing something good, then they can send their money over there by themselves. But I don't want my tax dollars being, forcibly taken from me, basically, by the government and used for something like that. So let me know what you think. I think you all probably would agree with me. But yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous to have China on a Human Rights Council. So Hillary Clinton this week tweeted out basically blaming Republicans, MAGA Republicans specifically, Trump supporters, for hot weather, basically. So yeah, it's hot outside and it's Republicans' fault. So it says, hot enough for you, ? Thank a MAGA Republican, or better yet, vote them out of office. So she's tweeting that in response to this tweet from this thing here that says CAP Action. What does that stand for? I think it's like the Center for American Progress Action. I think that's what it stands for. Action Fund or something. Anyway, they said MAGA Republicans are pouring fuel on the climate crisis fire. Now, I've tweeted this a couple of times in response to stuff that President Joe Biden has tweeted, or whoever runs his accounts have tweeted. There is no climate crisis. This is a completely, this is a made-up thing. There's not a climate crisis. But they keep saying there is. So, yeah, if you're a Republican, specifically a MAGA Republican, then I guess, it's your fault that it's hot outside. Yeah, so she said that. I wanted to show you that ridiculous tweet from her. And then, also, this is a little bit older. This is from June, but it's just President Biden saying that basically climate change is like an existential threat. Here you go.
Well, first of all, I think it is the existential threat to humanity, climate change. It's the most serious problem we face as human beings.
So there you go, the most serious problem we face as human beings. Meanwhile, President Biden, and I don't begrudge him this, he is president, flying around on Air Force One all over the place. Now, I mean, the thing is, conservatives, people that don't believe in this climate change alarmism narrative, I don't think we really have a problem with the president flying around on an airplane, or anyone who's promoting climate change flying around in a private jet. I don't really care. If you're rich and you have enough money to fly on a private jet, congratulations. I wish I had a private jet. But it's just the total hypocrisy of these people acting like the world is either going to be destroyed or it's going to be marred in a terrible way. Bad things are going to happen if we don't take all this drastic action. Meanwhile, flying around in planes and all this sort of thing. So yeah, the climate alarmism narrative, is ridiculous, but it's very much being promoted by the left and some on the right. And if you're a Christian, then you can rest assured that the world is not going to end because of humans, ruining the climate. So anyway, let me see here. Okay, this is unrelated, very brief clip, but it's a Democratic Congresswoman, Mary Gay Scanlon, it says here on the Blaze's tweet, basically saying that gender-affirming care is safe and effective.
So let's start by setting the record straight. Gender-affirming care is safe and effective.
That's all they have in this clip here. And the reason I'm showing you that is just because it's ironic. She's using the term safe and effective. It's starting to seem like any time that, I would say the left or the mainstream or whoever, anytime people start repeatedly telling you that something is safe and effective, you can rest assured that it is probably neither safe or effective. So, because of course I'm thinking of the vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccines, which people were told were safe and effective, and it turns out it doesn't appear that they're safe, at least not for everybody. It seems like some people were harmed by it, and clearly they were not effective. If by effective you mean prevented people from getting COVID-19. Now, obviously, the new narrative after it was basically proven demonstrably that people were still getting COVID-19, then people started saying, well, it makes you I think they were trying to say it made you less sick or whatever, that kind of stuff. So I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, so if somebody tells you safe and effective, then maybe you should question the assumption there and wonder if it really is safe and effective. Obviously, gender affirming care, that refers to puberty blockers for minors, or testosterone or whatever, cross-sex hormone treatment for people that are trying to quote unquote transition genders. So obviously that is not something that anyone should be doing, children or adults, really. No one. It's not good for people, I don't think. So, all right. So also, I was going to talk a little about Twitter. Elon Musk is changing the name of it and the logo and everything. He's changing it from Twitter to X. And his idea is that he wants this X app or whatever. He wants the X platform to be sort of an everything app, and not just Twitter is a social media company, but he wants it to be social media. He wants it to be financial services. I'm not entirely sure what else he wants to fold into it, but he wants it to be what he refers to, I think, as an everything app. And I tweeted out here, or I don't know what do you even call it anymore. I'm still calling them tweets. I guess they might just be calling them posts now. In fact, actually, let me refresh the page here. No, it still says tweet. That's interesting. The other day I thought it said post here. Anyway, tweet, post, whatever. I shared how you can see it went from that to that. Now, here's Elon Musk. He tweeted out and said Twitter was acquired by X Corp, both to ensure freedom of speech and as an accelerant for X, the everything app. This is not simply a company renaming itself, but doing the same thing. The Twitter name made sense when it was just 140 character messages going back and forth like birds tweeting, but now you can post almost anything, including several hours of video. In the months to come, we will add comprehensive communications and the ability to conduct your entire financial world. The Twitter name does not make sense in that context, so we must bid adieu to the bird. So that's interesting. I think people kind of expect him to maybe integrate some cryptocurrency stuff. I'm interested to see if maybe Bitcoin could be incorporated into this somehow. But it'll be interesting to see what exactly he's planning to do with this and where it's going to go. Obviously, he's a successful businessman with many ventures that have done well, so I think that whatever this ends up being, it's probably going to be successful, and it will probably be more successful than Twitter was before. But so far, I'm just pleased with the fact that I can, you don't have to worry so much about tweeting stuff. Like, for instance, if you say something about the transgender issue, you're not going to get slapped down for that probably. So that's good. Seems like that's good. The free speech seems to be better. Although I have seen some stuff that seems concerning, but sometimes you see something concerning like somebody getting suspended and then they get reinstated later. So just keep an eye out and we'll see what happens with that and how the free speech thing actually pans out and everything. All right, also, this is Elon Musk related, but Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina and Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, that's a bipartisan duo because Lindsey Graham is a Republican and Elizabeth Warren is a Democrat. So they're pushing for this government regulator basically to police big tech platforms. And if you're not liking the sound of that, because it sounds like government, sticking its nose maybe heavily into the private sector, You know, it's Elizabeth Warren. What are you going to expect? But but it says here, but Lindsey Graham, like I said, they are jointly pushing this. And this New York Times article by the two of them, it says our Digital Consumer Protection Commission Act would create an independent bipartisan regulator charged with licensing and policing the nation's biggest tech companies like Meta, Google, and Amazon to prevent online harm, promote free speech and competition, guard Americans' privacy, and protect national security. The new watchdog would focus on the unique threats posed by tech giants while strengthening the tools available to the federal agencies and state attorneys general who have authority to regulate big tech. So, you know, a lot of conservatives have problems with big tech censorship and stuff like that. But is this the right way to go with that? I don't think it sounds too good. So Elon Musk tweeted, "Time for Lindsey Graham to retire." And I thought a lot of you who are not fans of Lindsey Graham would find that amusing. If you remember, actually, I told you about how at a Trump rally earlier this month, I think it was on July 1st, Lindsey Graham was being booed by people in the audience there. But so what happened is this guy, Richard Hanania, he tweeted out a screenshot from the New York Times article. And he was saying up here, Elizabeth Warren and Lindsey Graham call for a new agency to regulate the internet and blah, blah. He said all this stuff here. And Elon Musk responded by saying, "Time for Lindsey Graham to retire." And if you've been paying any attention, he also has he's no fan of Elizabeth Warren either. I don't necessarily think I would phrase it as saying regulate the internet, but you can see here that they want to oversee these big tech companies and stuff. And I haven't read the entire bill or anything like that, but I did write about it, about this week, about Elon Musk's response to the tweet there. So that's it for today. Let me know real quick if anybody's got any comments or anything like that. Oh wait, I'm wrong. I'm not. That's not it for the day. Actually, I have one more thing here. This is something that's pretty funny. It's this old Eisenhower ad, and something that I think it's very valid and still truthful today. Something that someone could actually literally take this and use it today as a campaign ad, and it would still be relevant. And that's something that is interesting about politics. And it sort of bothers me in a way because I could spend my whole life talking about this stuff and almost guaranteed it will be the same or worse as it was when I started. If you look back in history, just a lot of the political problems that people have, it seems like in one form or another, they're still around. I've said before, if you watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington with Jimmy Stewart, the movie, it's about corruption or graft or whatever. It just seems like politics is politics, and American politics is American politics, and we're just going to have, we're never going to get to that utopia, that, that place where maybe conservatives would like to get to. It's probably just never going to happen. There's always going to be problems. But anyway, let me show you this. Also, let me just note before I show it to you, the delivery, very bad, but still the point stands and the point is good. So let me show you that.
Eisenhower answers America.
The Democrats have made mistakes, but aren't their intentions good?
Well, if the driver of your school bus runs into a truck, hits a lamppost, drives into a ditch, you don't say his intentions are good. You get a new bus driver.
A good point. Like I said, the delivery, not so great, but very unnatural, I guess, or whatever you want to say, rehearsed or something, whatever it is. But a very kind of amusing and relevant video. So thank you all for watching this episode of the show. Don't forget to tune in next Saturday at 3:30 if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Like I said, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're over on Twitter/X, please follow me over there as well. So thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your weekend.